Of course, the great Coco Taylor. Got to give the women some. And the baddest of them all at the time was Albert Collins. Nobody could cut Albert Collins. We tried, but we couldn't do it. He would call all the guitar players up on stage one at a time, and he would slice and dice us. We loved it. But one thing I don't love is the fact that all those people I just mentioned, they're all gone now, you know? They're all gone. But there's one fella from back in that time that's still out there doing it. That's right, Buddy Guy. And I think it's worth pointing out that Buddy Guy is on probably the longest retirement tour I've ever heard of in my life. And since I based my whole existence on copying him, I'm just going to go ahead and announce my retirement tonight. See if I can stretch it out another 20 years or so. But when I would go see Buddy play at the Checkerboard Lounge, it seemed like every other song had this groove to it right here. Kind of a tough Chicago blues groove. So it really stuck in my mind, you know? But at the same time, I was listening to the rock and roll music that I grew up with. Bands like ZZ Top. I love me some Top. And they had a song that went, I may not want to admit it, I'm just a fool for her stockings, I believe. So I took the two grooves and I put them together and came up with a song. That's one way of looking at it. This one right here. Seems like nowadays ain't nothing made to last. One day you got it all, then it just feels so damn fast. I love. Well, it's on and off again. Well, I know you wanna quit me, baby, but a quitter never wins. See what I did there? Don't tell on me. You walked out on a love. I stayed through thick and thin. And after all that we've been through, baby, now you're telling me this is the end, and I know. Well, it's on and off again. Well, I know you wanna quit me, baby, but a quitter never wins. So I put this song on my Storm Warning album. Came out in 1994. Ouch. Is that 32 years ago? And it a couple years after that, 1996, I was playing a venue in Minneapolis, and I was back in the dressing room, ready to go up onto the stage, and a knock came on that dressing room door. And I opened that door, and there was a 13-year-old boy standing out there, and he wanted to come up into the dressing room, and he wanted me to teach him quitter never wins. And he didn't seem so dangerous, so I let him in. But he turned out to be highly dangerous because his name was Johnny Lang. And he recorded my song, and he sold 2 million copies of my song. That got my attention. I'm a big fan. But ever since then, a couple of dozen other artists have recorded it. John Lee Hooker Jr. did a nice version of it. And probably my favorite version of it was done by a guy from Chicago named Melvin Taylor. And then 3 years ago, the late, great John Mayall put it on his final album. I'm so grateful.